Did you ever thought you would leave everything? Did you ever step out of your comfort zone? Well, I want to bring you on a trip where I exactly did that. Oh. Vernazza, made it all the way. Vamos. Woo. So, actually, it's quite a while ago, this trip. I'm at a totally different place in the world. And yeah, but I thought I want to take you back to the time.
Finally leaving.
Bye, Dorfblick. Bye, Sasve. Ready to go. Yeah, bye, Sasve.
Let it begin. Let the adventure begin.
We started in Sasve, riding down, was all downhill, of course. Then flat part. And then we reached our first foot, the mountain. And yeah, it's not the same thing if you have a lot of luggage on your bike. It's not that easy. Yeah, it's a lot of effort, but I mean, what you see on the way, like, it's just incredible.
The essence of life. Oh.
Nice.
Oh. Ooh.
Hey!
Ooh. Yes. Love it.
Oh.
We can do it.
Yeah.
Do it, man.
Woo! Yeah! Switzerland. See the mountains, like, and on the mountain top you can still see the snow, just the fresh air, and it's so clean, like, amazing.
There's sections like this to avoid the main road, huh? Yeah. It's crazy up there.
And yeah, I think it's good just to focus on the distance, because we are often focusing on something close, like reading a book, checking our phones, computer, newspaper, everything like is on this distance. And sometimes we need just to take a step out there and yeah, go outside like we did on this trip.
You said we couldn't do it. We did it.
Cheers, mate. You. Cheers.
Oh, so stoked.
When you get a drink on the top, you feel like the king. Yeah, you feel like you actually earn it. You earned this drink. You worked your way up.
Italia, buongiorno, buonasera. Italia.
Woo!
Yay.
We did it.
Of course, Bali is bordering to Italy. So on the way down, yeah, made it pretty much. We could cross the border to Italy.
Pretty quick to go. Whoa!
Yeah, that was like already a little step.
Yeah.
Oh!
Bella Italia.
Of course, we didn't make it yet, not even close, because we wanted to go to Rome, or at least to the Mediterranean, to the Mediterranean Sea. Well, in Italy, just you have to drink some coffee. I mean, just because you're in Italy. And of course, the food. Oh, yeah, it's just perfecto. Just so good. We didn't train like riding a bike. I mean, I used to ride a bike, but we were just snowboarding all the time. But you get used to it, like you don't have to train, you don't have to prepare in that way, I think, because our bodies are quite amazing, I think, like they adapt to environment, they can train, they get strong pretty quickly, like if you start in one day, like your body will get used to it. Just maybe don't push it too hard. Just take it slow.
Yes. Wait. I messed you up.
Aloha.
Aloha. Beautiful.
sometimes you just have to step out. Yeah, just step out and explore like a child. Because a child always explores new things, but I think at a certain time, a certain stage of our life, we stop exploring and we think, oh, we got everything, we figure it out, like this is how life works. But I don't think so. We didn't figure it out yet, not even close. Usually it's okay, I think, spending a night somewhere. Just take your garbage, like don't make a mess there. Yeah, I think that's for sure the rule you should keep. I mean, we were riding through almost like a desert. It was getting hot sometimes. And I brought my cowboy hat. Aaron thought it's a little bit silly, but I thought, it was quite cool. Or maybe it didn't look that cool, but at least it protected me from the heat, like a cowboy in the desert. Usually we spend the night in a tent. We had our small tent on the back of our bikes, and yeah, just we were riding as long as we could. Yeah, I felt like we're almost like cowboys, riding our horses through the Wild West. Okay, maybe not exactly, but yeah, it felt like we had some freedom. Like we could just be, we could just ride our bike. And that was it.
Good morning.
Until we finally got close to the Mediterranean. And yeah, there it started to get hilly, or like some mountains again, or hills, I would say. There was one really beautiful spot, and yeah, we camped up there on the hill. And before I thought like sometimes the places weren't that nice where we spent the night, but then on that little hill that was just beautiful and felt like so peaceful.
Domino Day.
And just hearing the birds and yeah, seeing like in the distance and like kind of almost seeing back, oh, we are accomplished already so many kilometers, and wow, I think we can actually make it to the Mediterranean. We can make it to the sea actually the next day.
Genoa, Italia.
We've been living in sin so long, all the fields are gone. Fella stopped me on the street last night. said everything's alright.